Romans 6, 4 through 7 says, "Therefore we have been buried with him through baptism into death, so that as Christ was raised from the dead through the glory of the Father, so we too might walk in newness of life. For we have become united with him in the likeness of his death. Certainly we shall also be in the likeness of his resurrection, knowing this, that our old self was crucified with him in order that our body of sin might be done away with, so that we would be no longer together or slaves to sin. For he who has died is freed from sin." Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 90-day reading plan, today's reading is Romans 6, and I encourage you to read that passage. Well, Romans chapter 5, verse 20 through chapter 8 are a unit and should be treated as such. Paul is now making an argument that if you're a believer, you are no longer enslaved to sin, but now we are enslaved to God and righteousness. This enslavement should be realized every moment of our lives, but unfortunately, we sometimes actively have no relationship with God. I recently saw a television program that I tend to enjoy until the writers delve into their perceived Christianity. They write the characters so that they are ignorant, have ulterior motives, and present themselves to the world as just plain stupid. And to quote Forrest Gump, "Stupid is as stupid does." We who are believers should present ourselves as something different than the world. We should present ourselves as something better than the world, not in the sense that we are righteous and the world is unrighteous or not righteous at all, but rather that we have a solution to what the problems are presented in the world because of sin. Our righteousness is tied to Christ's righteousness. Our perceived righteousness or foolishness by the world around us is placed on Christ's shoulders. Then he is set up to be publicly ridiculed, and a relationship with him is seen to be foolishness. We are to be slaves of righteousness. Our goal in life should be service to others. To love others, we ought to love ourselves, and if possible, even to a greater degree. We have a mission on earth that is to glorify God in everything that we do. And if our actions do not reflect God's nature, then we are bringing shame to him. Now it's time to reevaluate how we look in life. We're not to be of the world, but we are to be in the world. We're to be witnesses for Christ, and our lives should reflect just that.